What's up, guys? My name is Caleb, and I am currently Director of Go-to-Market at NewReach. We've done $100 million in our real estate education platform. We run big personal brands like Pace Morby. We run Squad Up Summit with all these names you can see here, which is a big real estate conference that we do once a year. And we are currently on a journey to scaling to $100 million a year. We've done $100 million plus lifetime. I think we're at like 130 or something like that. But now we are scaling to $100 million a year. Before I came on as Director of Go-to-Market, I made a few $1 million myself running info brands or offers, whatever you want to call them. And now our big goal is hitting this. So I'm basically making these videos, taking a page from Ryan Klog's book. And when I talked to him, he said it was the best thing he ever did. So shout out Ryan. This is the start of my 100-day journey to replicate maybe a little bit of what he did. So I'm really looking for the same things he was, talent networking opportunities, and I'll share more about that in a second. But I'm just going to share actively what we're doing. Obviously, I can't share everything, but I'm going to give away as much as I can. So if you don't know anything about us, we build tech-enabled communities and ecosystems. So we like to call ourselves an ed tech platform or something of the sort. Specifically, our vertical right now is real estate, but we are expanding quickly into other verticals, and that's kind of my job. If you are a growth hacker, marketer, copywriter, media buyer, sales rep, designers, anybody in this list, this channel hopefully is for you, and you'll find it valuable and saucy and all of the above. I'm really just going to be sharing all the current in marketing, sales, tech, AI, fulfillment. AI is a big one right now. Maybe that's going to be my next video. We'll find out. But I think that AI is going to change a lot of how we do all of these other things as we get into the rest of this year. So it'll be really interesting from, what's the date today? It's February 24th. It'll be interesting to see what happens from February 24th, 2026 till even July or December, right? So today, I just want to share what's current in my life and kind of my journey, and then my goals for this next 100 days. So on socials, my YouTube is basically dead. I have 104 subscribers. I just started posting. Did a pod with Josh, did a pod with Nick, and those were great. But now it's time for me to actually take things into my own hands a little bit and build my own personal brand with my own videos. So this first video was kind of a test. It's not good. You don't have to watch it. I don't recommend watching it, actually. But it was a good test for me to kind of figure out, all right, what's my best method of making videos on the internet? Like, I don't prefer this talking head style. I prefer sharing stuff like this and like moving it around and like pointing and clicking and stuff like that. So that's how I'm going to share things. I'm sorry if you don't like that, but it's helpful for me to remember everything that I want to share with you guys. Moving on, Instagram, I've grown this for a while. I actually know, if you're watching this, I probably know you on Instagram, or I follow you, or we've connected or DM'd or whatever. And that's kind of like where I'm known the best. So I'm okay with this. I want to definitely grow my Instagram, but the nice thing is that YouTube just provides so much more than Instagram does. Instagram is just kind of like gateway drug to a person, and then YouTube is basically how you get to know them, in my opinion. So it's going to be important that I grow my Instagram at the same time that I'm growing this, but this channel specifically is going to be very niche. So I'm sorry if you're a beginner and you're watching this, it's not going to be helpful for you. You can DM me with questions and I'll try to answer everything that I can, but overall, this is for people who are kind of in the space already. They have an established offer. Potentially, they're probably at, multiple hundreds of thousands a month in top line, potentially in take home. I don't know who you guys are, but I'm excited to get to know you guys. So that's current in socials. And then my current kind of network or Rolodex, there's a lot of there's a lot of people I know from Instagram that might be like one or two steps away. And so that's kind of like the issue I'm facing right now. Is like, if I want to get to somebody, I have to go through someone else, whereas I'd rather just go straight to them. Now, I think I've done a pretty good job on Instagram, and some of you watching this probably have my phone number, we text, whatever. Just did a podcast with some, a few people that are really cool that will be on this channel as well. But that's kind of the issue I'm facing now, is I don't like having to use somebody to get to somebody else. So it just feels weird for me. I'd rather just talk to the person themselves instead of do this weird loop around thing. As far as talent pipeline strength, I feel like I don't have that much pull, frankly. And it's not a clout thing, honestly. Like, I don't really want a lot of followers. I'm trying to hit that niche, which is right about where my Instagram is. I think my intuition is saying that there's about 10 to like 30,000 people that are in the info space. And there's much less than that are actually doing anything. Again, I wouldn't say that we specifically are companies in the info space, but if you're watching this, you probably are. So it makes sense that I speak to those kind of people. But currently, I don't have the ability to recruit heavily and quickly and well and attract good talent. I think attraction is different from recruiting in the sense of I wouldn't have to do anything. Ideally, I wouldn't have to do anything for like high quality and extremely talented people to come to the table. So that's kind of what this YouTube series is about. Ryan said that that's one of the biggest things that helped him. And so I'm excited to pursue that specifically because as we grow, I'll get into kind of some goals and things that we're going to do here in the next year at New Reach that are intensely reliant on the talent pipeline and the people that join the team. So excited to share that with you guys. Anyways, moving on. IG DMs. I've been helping people in the DMs for a long time. People DM me all the time with questions. I send them voice notes. I send them videos or sauce or whatever. So I'm excited to keep doing that. But currently, I've just helped a few people. So IG DMs. I just like to grow and just have more conversations. Just honestly, I would prefer face-to-face. Like I love in-person events, so I would way rather come and meet you or you come meet me and come see the office and see what we're doing. But IG DMs is good. We can send voice notes. You can get my phone number if you're cool enough. I'm just kidding. So I'm not kidding about that. You can actually get my phone number. And then for some background, so my role and my growth responsibilities are, in short, launch a new brand at $20 million a year. So that might sound like a big task. I don't necessarily think it is in the grand scheme of things. So all of this stuff, the network, talent pipeline, helping people in the DMs or conversating with high quality people, all rolls up to my role and growth responsibilities because it's important that I have the access to people that I need to do the things I need to do. And so I just think about like, if you have a niche problem, what would you rather do? Would you rather go look it up on YouTube or buy a course or, try to talk to Claude about it or just text someone that that's an expert in that field, right? I would very rather text someone. They can send a voice note back in 5 seconds and get my problem fixed. So all this stuff kind of is helpful for what my role and growth responsibilities are as director of go-to-market. And so I think it's important that people are aware of who I am and that I'm aware of who's out there that can help and who I can help as well. So I think the interesting thing about like the Rolodex and the ID DMs is like I also have a lot to offer other people. And so it's not just this one way stream of, me taking things off your plate and taking up your mental energy. So all that to say, super cool. Now let's get into goals. So basically my goals are pretty simple with this. Stay consistent for 100 days. I think that's probably the hardest thing. And Ryan was explaining that like there's just days you just don't feel like doing it at all. And it's kind of like the gym. Like you don't see results until you've been doing it for a while. So I might get to 100 days and I might still be at 104 subscribers. I hope not. I think that I'm more quality than that. But if that's the case, I'll just keep going. And that doesn't deter me, I don't think. So that's kind of one of the goals. And I guess that's more of like an inputs thing. I don't really like making goals, like making input goals maybe is the right way to say it. So like instead of saying, I want to make $1 million in the next 30 days, it's like, okay, what do I have to make per day? That's my goal. I'm going to make that per day, right, to get there. New friends. I just want to connect with more people. I love you guys. I think that there's a ton of killers in this space. I think that info marketers and growth operators or whatever you call them, publishers, are some very, very talented and very smart people. If you're in the e-com space, the affiliate marketing space, or the pay-per-call space, like you're also very talented, and like I think you'll gain some wisdom and some sauce and some information from my channel. But ultimately, like the game that I'm playing, these guys are killers, and so I'm excited to connect with a lot of you guys, do some podcasts potentially with some of you guys, and just grow together because ultimately, I don't really believe that competition exists. I think at the very, very highest levels, it does to a degree. And I can get into the philosophy of that. I think Nick Fisher and I are on the same page on that, and a few other guys, but I think that some people might disagree. Anyways, new friends is a big goal. And then I just want to be able to crowdsource information. So what that basically means is kind of what I was explaining earlier. Like, if I have something that I don't know the answer to, like, I want to know, I just want to have somebody that I can talk to and get the information. And I want other people to kind of chime in. Like, I love how, I love the fact that Ryan can like throw a post out and be like, hey, what are you guys using for this software stack? Or what are you guys doing for this? And it's easy for people to just be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And because they've gotten enough value probably from his YouTube channel, from getting into the psychology of it. So hoping to provide a ton of value here. I'll be going into everything: marketing, sales, team, operations, fulfillment, all of our sales motions, all of our in-person motions I can cover in some depth, not all depth, obviously for IP reasons. But this is a big one, and hopefully I'm providing enough value to you guys where that's possible. Ultimately, I just want it to be a conversation, so I think that'd be really cool if we can get that kind of to be the standard. As far as this goes, BV means brand visionary. So that's what we call our people that are the face of each brand. So Pace Morby would be the face of Sub 2. There's a few other people that doesn't really matter. The point is, like, they're the face, right, of the publishing arm or the info product that we're launching. So I also want, when BVs, when we're talking to them, we have a ton of cool people in the pipeline that are going to be exciting to launch if we can get them across the line. I also want them to realize that when, you know, they look me up or they look our company up or whatever, that we have some brand presence and we have connections in the space, that people know who we are and know that we are good at what we do. And I think that's important because currently people know, like, Nick, and they know Josiah, and they know Pace, and that's kind of cool, but like they need to get to know some of the team. And if I'm the one that's launching their brands, it's important that they see that, you know, I'm not a robot, right? I'm not an idiot. So BV brand presence is kind of a goal of mine. Outside of that, basically in 100 days, we should have a new brand launched, and I want to take you guys behind the scenes of it. So this is everything from, and you know, I can't share everything specifically because of protections and just NDAs and stuff like that. However, I'll share as much as I can, and I think that's still going to be a lot. But basically the whole process from talking to a BV to actually closing them, negotiating the deal, and then what's the go-to-market strategy, building the team, building the processes, building the systems, software potentially, because it's so easy to kind of one-shot software nowadays. There's so much we can do here. So, I think that it would be really cool to document kind of the process of actually launching a brand, and then I can show some results on like how the brand does. So that would be super cool. Maybe I'll just keep the BV and the brand name private, and then just show results, so I don't have to like violate anything. But I'll cover that in future videos. The point is, I think it'd be really cool to not crowdsource the brand launch, but basically show you guys, all right, this is how we do things, and like, this is how we're going to guarantee this brand hits $20 million the first year, right? So all the processes, all the systems, everything that we do market research-wise and offer creation-wise and like, it just continues to get deeper and deeper and deeper. So the important thing is that you guys get to see as much as you can, and that's my goal. So anyways, all that to say, shout out IG DMs. If you have anything that you have questions on or want me to cover, please DM me on IG. You can see it's just my name, so pretty easy. I'll leave it in the description. But yeah, that is day one of scaling to $100 million a year. We are off to the races, and I'm excited to see what happens days 2 through 100. So thanks for watching, guys. Peace.